Hey yo, everybody, it's Syncros here, and welcome back to another episode of Coaster Spotlight. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at 3 spooky blueprints, so stay tuned. Let's dive on in. Alright everyone, welcome back, and if you are new here, be sure to subscribe for more awesome Planet Coaster content, as well as Planet Zoo, which is dropping in November. We will be covering that game, and if you'd like to join our Discord, you can do so. Links will be down in the description below. If you'd like to support the show via Patreon, you can do so with links also in the description, and without further ado, let's begin. First up, we have Raw, submitted by 420 Coffee, one of our Discord builders, and they say, "Hey Johnny 5, I bring you Raw. Raw was created when alchemist Johnny Von Alive tried to make a fireproof wood using 5 elements in sorcery in the 15th century. But his spells unleashed the demon Ra, used lava to destroy Johnny and his castle. Poor Johnny. Only ruins remain, and the wooden coaster packed with intensity. Do you have what it takes to take on Ra? Thank you for any feedback. Goals to become an advanced builder." Alright, so we have a wooden coaster with an 8.36 excitement, a 5.62 fear, and a 2.37 nausea. There's a look at the rest of the results. And this coaster looks pretty wicked. I'm excited. Alright, that was pretty intense. I really like that a lot. Okay, so let's get in there and let's talk about it. First of all, great custom sign. Totally goes with the theme you got going. The orange with the dark wooden font looks really nice, especially with the theme you got going here. This face, freaking terrifying. Look at that, like, oh. I'm gonna see that when I sleep tonight. That is terrifying. Okay. And I gotta say, as soon as you come out of the station and around the corner and head on over to the lift hill, that, oh, wrong part of the track, but that mountain just looks freaking incredible. The lava effects you have going in there are astounding. Really nice work. I found the lava kind of tedious to work with to make like a good looking flow, just because of the way it comes out of the spout. So you did a really good job with this. Yeah, like, oh, I love it. I wonder what you're at for pieces here. I'm guessing you're probably maxed out. Well, you got 1,000 pieces left over, so I guess would have been nice to see maybe some more lighting in here, because other than the light that's coming off of the orange and the lava, you don't really have anything else going on in here. So maybe like some very faded purples or something like that, just to kind of give off a bit of a spooky vibe, I think would look good. Lightning effects are pretty cool at the top too, which does actually happen when volcanoes erupt. So I think you could have gone with a little bit more of an explosion maybe at the top if this is supposed to replicate a bit of a volcano. But I mean, that's being nitpicky. That's just one special effect. It's not a huge deal whatsoever. And the track design, sorry, getting crazy with the camera. Track design was a ton of fun. Got a little bit herky-jerky. These, I think, yeah, right here, these airtime hills, I think could have been leveled out just a little bit, so a little bit more of a smoother roll, especially this one. Kind of hucks you over and probably snap the back of your neck going over that thing. At least it felt like I might, but I mean, very minimal things to say. That the rest of the track was astounding and fun. Yeah, I Get nothing but praise for this creation here, 420 Coffee. And you're saying you're going for advanced builder? I would go as far to say that this is an expert builder creation myself. So let me know what you guys all think in the comments below about this, because I don't know, I'm pretty astounded by the quality and the amount of custom work you did here. The rock work is really nice. You got the dead trees coming off of it. Like, you sold this whole theme perfectly. I can't say anything better about this, honestly. Yeah, really good job here today, 420 Coffee. So I just took a quick peek at your workshop, and I would say it's a tough one. While this creation on its own is definitely expert level, your workshop, you only have one page, but that being said, your one page, it looks pretty good. So I would say you're safe to apply for a workshop review, but it definitely would not hurt to get another creation or two on there if you could. I know these things take a lot of time, but I think with where you're at, you're definitely good to go and submit for a review, and I think you'd be doing okay just based on this creation alone, honestly, because this thing is freaking phenomenal. So really good job today here, 420 Coffee, and we're off to the next blueprint. All right, next up we have La Maison, submitted by the Forbidden Hero, one of our Discord beginner builders, and they say, before I start, sorry, I'm not English, so my English may not be the best. Hi Johnny, this is my first Halloween coaster and one of my first roller coasters. It is a hypercoaster that has a large haunted house station. The story of the ride is 50 years ago, spirits came from the grounds and killed the owner of the manor house by flying them around the garden multiple times. The spirits have come again and you're invited. Do you dare come? Alright, so first up we have a Typhoon Barcast with what looks to be like a train swap with the Invincible train, with a 6.62 excitement, a 5.18 fear, and a 2.03 nausea. There's a look at the rest of the results. Alright, that was pretty insane. Really fun track design on that one. That first drop, coming over that airtime mill, it definitely has a very, like, theme park style coaster track layout in there for sure. Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed that track ride. The lighting, I do want to touch on that a little bit. It's very splotchy. The color scheme isn't terrible, but you definitely gotta dim the colors down quite a bit, because it looks like you just picked whatever green comes with it and then sunk the lights into the ground. So what I would suggest, sink those in a little more. So I'm going to we're gonna do a bunch of lighting around the edge like that. You want to sink them down a lot so they don't do that splotchy thing on the ground, but they still light up your scenery. So you still see this, your fencing and all that still has a nice green light effect to it, but your lights aren't doing that splotchy thing on the ground, because that, when it's like that, it's too much, especially when you have this many lights back to back. So if you get rid of it just like that, all of a sudden it cleans it up so much more. So even your reds here, so I'm gonna quickly do your reds if I can find them quickly anyways. Let's see if you just matched it. Yeah, so here's one. All right, so I got them all selected, so I'm just gonna sink them down a little bit more. Pull them away from the wall. You know what, I might even do something like this. So that to me, like, it's just kind of working with the lights you had down. That to me looks a lot nicer. It's just a little more, especially when you're doing a haunted vibe, it kind of gives off a little bit more of a, it's spookier to me when you have subtle lighting like that. So like I myself, the last one I did, I think I did green and purple. Yeah, I know, just making it the lighting a little more subtle, I think would have done a solid here. I'm not too sold on the pink, honestly. The pink isn't spooky for me. It's sort of like, especially with the bright green. I don't know, it's kind of candy looking to me almost. I don't know, it looks playful almost. You get playful colors surrounding a graveyard, so I don't think that totally works for a color scheme. I think going with something like a purple or even a blue with an off green or something like that. I don't know, blue and green might collide a little bit, but yeah, I think just the green and purple, or yeah, the green and pink doesn't quite work for me. And then same with this snowy part, I don't really think you needed it at all. It's sort of just as bright, for lack of a better word, eyesore in the middle of your blueprint. I don't mean to sound rude there. I hope it's not taken as such. I kind of get the idea you just wanted to have a quick snow area, but it doesn't really make sense as far as the rest of your blueprint goes. There's no elevation difference there, so to me, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And then another thing I would strongly suggest is try tightening this up a little bit. And you can, if you start this drop sooner, so like you have it coming way out when you don't have any speed, you can make this turn almost a full 90 degrees right here before you even pick up any speed, and you can do it smoothly, and then you're already facing back here, and you can have your airtime hill right over top of the boarding station or something like that. So it kind of creates a bit of coherency between your track and your scenery a little better, right? Don't get me wrong, it actually has a nice looking composition, but I think if this had turned closer to the top and you were coming straight back down, you could have came up an airtime hill like even right here and right close to the station, you know, and it just creates a lot of extra theming opportunities instead of just filling in dead space with trees, which is kind of what you did here. I think the trees look nice, but you could have easily added some more rock work and stuff like that, and maybe put in some more graveyards or other haunted type things, or done like a cave area or anything like that, you know? So overall, this is a really good first blueprint, other than the few things I had mentioned, lighting being one of them. The building and the theming is actually, for the most part, really, really good. Your ability to use the in-game pieces and kind of go a little bit extra with it, even in your boarding station here, I noticed. You did the extra little bit with the wood. That goes to show me that you know what you're doing, you know how to build, and you have a creative knack for just doing those little extra details that really, for the most part, most people aren't even going to see. And even coming through here, you theme this area, even though you can whip in through here, which that's actually another point of tip. I think you should have made this break station a little longer for the realism junkies out there. You whipped in there super fast and you came to like a dead stop immediately. So I think extending that break section, if you're going to enter it with that amount of speed, and making it a little bit slower, of a little bit less of a jerky slowdown. But I do got to say, really nice composition here. This looks nice. These custom supports, yeah, oh yeah, they are. Okay, yeah, that's really awesome way of doing those supports. That has a super cool look to it. I think that real supports for loops have been done like that. I'm pretty sure I've seen something like that in a real life coaster, but either way, it gives a really nice composition behind the boarding station here. It kind of looks like devil horns or something, so it makes it look a little bit more even more creepier. So yeah, great submission here today, the Forbidden Hero, and we are off to the next blueprint. Next up, we have Storm the Cathedral, submitted by Polymorphous, one of our Discord advanced builders, and they say, "Heyo, I was inspired to make Dungeons and Dragons-esque medieval adventure ride, and I thought you'd enjoy it. As always, feedback is appreciated. Thanks. A terrible, cunning creature has stolen a powerful artifact from the Arcane Guild. You and the several other brave adventurers must seek out the creature in the ruined cathedral to retrieve the artifact before it's too late. Grab your trusty sword and be sure to ride at night to ensure a swift victory." Alright, so we have a launch torque coaster with a 5.54 excitement, a 3.33 fear, and a 0.77 nausea. There's a look at the rest of the results. And this coaster looks freaking sweet, so put on your proverbial seatbelts. Wow. Okay. Okay, this brings me back to when we used to do Halloween coaster competitions. This was so much fun. This is something that, I know there was one year where we just had some really sick creations come through on the Halloween contest, like some really awesome ideas and just super creative ways of doing a roller coaster. And this was more of like a thrilling storytelling kind of style roller coaster, because when you get into the Cathedral here, you started doing lightning bolts and this mummy was doing like some stop motion stuff. I don't know, it was super cool looking. Your triggers were amazing. And then yeah, again, when you came through, yeah, right here, you just incorporated like a storytelling aspect using triggers with your ride really, really well. And I like when you shot down underneath the altar here. Yeah, I don't know, that looked really good. It looked like it was stop motion just with the way the mummy is animated, but yeah, super cool. And yeah, and coming through here, that was awesome. Yeah, I don't know, this freaking Cathedral is beautiful. It's got such a nice composition. Like, look at that. Oh, that's some thumbnail right there. Wow. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I'm super stoked on this creation. You even got like the little village below, the haunted church. So really, really solid job there. I have nothing but praise for this creation. This is ridiculously good. I haven't seen a spooky creation like this in a long time. And arguably, this is kind of my favorite time of year for the roller coasters. I just like horror coasters. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember Chance entry. It was 2 years ago. I don't know how long a lot of you have been here watching this, but yeah, I don't know. Ever since I watched that, and that's kind of when I was still new to the community, I seen that. I was kind of fell in love with horror coasters and just doing these horror haunted mansions, cathedrals, and things like that. Combat, he does a ton of sick creations like this. So I don't know. I just love it. And this is pretty much the perfect example of why I love these kind of creations. The details, the way you did them, and the way the lighting is, you got very, very subtle lighting, and it just sells such a creepy vibe. You got mist, oh man, it's on top of a mountain, it's elevated, it just looks good. So it's like no matter where you are on this part of the coaster, you have this daunting cathedral above you at all times, and every now and then you shoot up above it and you dive down. Even the way you incorporated the broken rubble and the walls into your ride, like that's super hard to do. Even supporting the roller coaster with the beams like that, totally unnecessary, but you went out of your way to do it anyways. So yeah, the level of detailing in here is just awesome. So super good job here today. Polymorphous stormed the cathedral. I love the name too. Yeah, I don't know, I've nothing but praise. Oh yeah, and shooting up through this little dungeon area too. Yeah, this is right out of the gate, right after we left the, is it? Yeah, sorry, I'm driving like a madman here. Oh man, maybe this isn't. Okay, yeah, it is. Wow, that wraps around quite a bit. Jeez. Wow, okay, I see what you made those out of. Crazy. Would have taken a long time. And I just duplicate and twist and kind of move down the line, but still, kind of reminds me of Cube of Illusions a little bit. In case any of you don't remember that one, that was Pixelated, which actually, by the way, he does some really awesome creations too. And a few of his first ever ones were kind of a few spooky ones, and he does some really good stuff too. So yeah, I don't know, some of my favorite creations in Planet Coaster were creations like these in this kind of theming, and this one is up there for sure. I'm in love with it. It is just beautiful from the ground up. It looks like this would have taken a lot of time to create, and your track isn't just random. It doesn't feel like it's random. It looks like you kind of had a plan to bring it in and come out, because I mean, these are pre-built pieces, these broken apart ones, right? So you might have had to adjust the track a little bit, but it didn't feel like you forced the track to go through the building. It's like you definitely had a plan going into this, and I think you executed it perfectly. So well done. And actually, this is a perfect example for you, the Forbidden Hero. So as I was saying about subtle lighting, that's what I mean. This is what I mean by subtle lighting. And what I said the greens and the blues might contradict each other, they don't at all here, because they're subtle. They're not overpowering each other, right? So even in the rocks here, he's kind of got like a teal blue going on, and he's got it sunken in so deep that it just barely lights it up, and you get all these shadows forming in there. And with this, you don't really give the chance for shadows to form. And I think, yeah, when you make it subtle and bury them in, you get the opportunity for shadows to come on. It just gives everything a really nice contrast. So right there is a perfect example of what I mean by going a little more subtle with your lighting. His is a lot more neat and orderly looking, just because it's on a flat square face of a building, whereas yours is kind of on landscaping. So I do get that, but yeah, aiming for something a lot more subtler really sells that creepy haunted vibe like this here. Like, look at that. Yes. We're just gonna pan around, guys. We're gonna do some live cinematics here. 'Cause, oh boy. Look at this. Yeah, a freaking phenomenal job, Polymorphous. All right, I can rant on to how awesome this cathedral is. Oh, look at it from here. It's better. It just gets good. It's good no matter where you look at it. Guys, if you were doing a haunted park, place this thing down because it will look awesome in the middle of your haunted area. That is a great scent. Like, look at this. I love it. Okay, you know what? That's it for this episode of Coaster Spotlight. Really awesome job by these three creators. Today we had 420 Coffee, The Forbidden Hero, and Polymorphous. Three very unique builds in their own right. I was super stoked to be able to have featured them, so good job again. And one more reminder, if you are new here, be sure to subscribe, and if you like this video, smash that like button. And if you'd like to join our Discord, links will be down in the description below. And if you'd like to support the show via Patreon, you can do so. Links will also be in the description below. Let me know what you guys thought about these three freaking awesome creations, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.